the telephone just to see if she still cares. But every time I call, there's no one home. I look down in my heart, there's no one there. No one there. No one
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream. My name is CR, and it is good to have you back on this channel. Profit Platoon. I hope you guys have been enjoying the recent price action going up, down, sideways. And regardless of what has been happening in the markets, MarketSpy keeps on delivering. And so let's just hang out. Let's talk about what has been the main issue here. No issues, actually. The charts have been clean, precision driven. Remember, we are on a mission for precision, and this is no different. So it looks like our support, which I have stated in my latest video, is held nicely. Look at that. We're going to turn DSR on real quick and see what that looks like. And as long as we're inside of this red box, you are buying, I am buying, everybody is buying, except the people who lack conviction and don't really know what it is that they're doing and what their purpose is in the market. If you like to move with intention and purpose, this stream is for you guys. I'm still recovering. I'm not well, so I'm going to be a little out of form today. So forgive me for that. But there is a lot of cool little things here on this chart that we can talk about. Now, if you're joining from YouTube, you are joining from Twitch, Kick. Welcome to the stream. I try my best, not time specific, but I try my best to be on here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, if time allows. But yeah, let's get into it. So the first thing that I would like to talk about is this little setup over here. By the way, I have been kind of recording my sessions and posting them to YouTube, but I'm not getting any comments, so I'm not sure. I am getting some supporters comments. I'm seeing some encouraging comments like way to go and thank you, which I really appreciate. But questions wise, I don't see any questions. I don't see any questions in Discord. I don't see any questions in the comment section of these videos. But here on Discord, we have been Profit Wall is sort of like my a performance assessment dashboard, and it's good to see when people post here. I have the regulars. I know nothing over here. We have Off Tarsus, came back strong, started posting as well. Makeup Hat, always the 1% club, always there posting. We have, what else do we have here? We have yours truly. There's not a time when I don't want to post to here. Trav has been active. By the way, to be honest, our friend Trav, our MarketSpy here, has one of the best logos that I have seen for like trading related stuff. I don't know. I dig this so much. It's just, there's so much going on here. This is like the best logo ever. You know what I mean? So shout out to Trav for keeping up with the times. And designers, they suck these days, but this is clean, fresh. I don't know. I really love it. But anyways, every time he posts, I'm happy. Tonto is happy. We're all happy. I know nothing. Again, CR, I know nothing. Miko Pat. Just the usual suspects, basically. Now, these videos here, I highly recommend you check out these videos because they're my sort of lazy, I don't want to record my screen and be conventional type of videos. I recently picked up a GoPro, and so recording my live setups like this just seems more organic to my taste. There's a second video over here, stress-free trading mode activated. It's a nice little chill video from yesterday. So every day we have a setup. This is probably from, you know, I'm gonna self call it and say that I've been watching YouTube, you know, just studying how people edit their shit. Stuff that they talk about, it's all a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo, you know. There's all these books and everything, and you really need a single candle, and you need to be 100% right on this candle directionality wise to make it happen. So MarketSpy has been just killing everybody else out there. It's an incredible system, truly, and I'm grateful for the people and professionals who help me put it together back in the day. And you know, the hidden patterns that we see, the market has not learned them, and probably will never learn because of how we layered our confluence. It's too much to decipher for an average person. And so but to us, you know, it's very clean charts. Trend Runner is the latest addition to it covers all your bases. You have exceptional momentum readings, you have exceptional support and resistance reading, you have exceptional timing indicators, you have exceptional trend assessment using candle augmentation on MarketSpy Armageddon, and now you have Trend Runner, which literally prints lines that nobody else has. You can't do this manually. So really satisfied with the whole complete package that we got going on over here. That being said, I have been wrestling with this one question. I realized it occurred to me not long ago, you know, as I was sitting here pondering, thinking, what is everybody lacking? Like, what is missing? What can I offer? What can I say, do, or show to help folks get on the MarketSpy level? And it's very evasive, this elusive reality that I have been ignoring for the whole time. And that's because, you know, people tend to think from you know, the way I live my life. I think like, oh, you know, it's pretty normal, and then it hit me. I realized it's not normal. It's not normal when I'm, you know, at home and I don't need to be anywhere at any point throughout the day. You know, maybe there's some things like family and stuff like that, dinner and kids and stuff like that. But I mean, really, I think the reason that trading profitably is possible in the first place is because you commit to it and dedicate to it full time. Now, I have always thought of trading as just a job, not some sort of cheat or shortcut in order to get to make money. I just think that if you're sick of the corporate world, as I was, and if you just want to take matters into your own hands, the real risk is not risking money. The real risk is making that decision of not having to go to work, basically. not having to be at the office, to be free from the and that doesn't necessarily mean you have to chase millions. I'm talking about, like a very chilled lifestyle where you replace something you hate with something you love. And I have never met a person who has a job, or should I say work, that they fully enjoy. It seems that everyone that I talk to, and I'm kind of like this wandering monk. People say, what do you do? I offer liquidity. I keep the economy alive. I am the man in the background who makes it tick. I make tariffs possible. So as market participants, your function is pretty important. Without you, there's no global exchange of anything. And so somebody has to do that job. And there's a difference between a job and work. Work is when you're working to build some sort of setup, some system that is going to serve you instead of you serving it all the time. So entrepreneurs tend to serve their ideas, and they tend to treat their assets as sort of like, possessions, and they're precious little babies. And this is different. This is work is when you are trading is first and foremost is, dare I say it, is spiritual refinement. All right, it puts you in the right state of mind, out of which you then move about in life in ways that are unconventional. For example, you may not know that I don't drive, have never driven a car, don't have a license. I don't need one. I have been driven around. I made it so that I'm driven around, basically, whether it's a personal chauffeur, Uber, taxi, depending on where I am in the world. And that has always been to, when I was a kid, I would always say, my parents would laugh, but I would always say, what, my dream is to be able to make just enough money. And of course, later I realized that just enough is quite a big number, but I was like, just enough money so I can live in a hotel forever. So I can just mess my room up, go have breakfast, come back, and it's clean, right? Don't need a wife, don't need anything. I just want to be living in a hotel to hotel, anywhere, no matter what the price is. So permanent residence at hotels, and that dream came true. There are hotels out there that allow you to they're residency hotels, and full stack of services included. And that lasted for a while, but then you want to get hands on. And so I'm going back to my driving thing, as and because of that, because I don't drive, because it's due to trauma, an incident that happened when I was a kid, that I don't like cars. It's a blessing. Now I see all people around me working their asses off, going deep into debt to sponsor their car, metal, just a box of scraps put together to look nice and shiny. To me, I love motorcycles. I ride motorcycles, and no, don't have a license. Every time I get caught, I pay a fine and move on. I am totally free. I have no debt. I have no cars. I own no houses. I rent everywhere I go. And if I do own something, it usually is so that others can have a piece of it. So whether it's real estate or some asset class, it's so that I can borrow against it, so I can lend it, so I can rent it, and things like that. But for me, for myself, the lifestyle that I've chosen to have when I was working in corporate jobs as an analyst, it was pretty hellish. It's you don't get to pick your hours. Basically your thoughts are not your own. You have to deliver on what everybody else wants you to deliver. And so I thought to myself, it must be extremely difficult. What I'm trying to say is that I have never actually worked a job or be in a position where I had to trade the markets on the side. So I don't know what that's like, and I think that is one of the issues, one of the problems that we're facing today, is because I was wrestling with this very question. I thought to myself, how do people have these responsibilities? But I do know that this can be your full-time thing. It's just that many people I talk to, they just don't have it in them to make the switch, because they first want to get good. But the thing is, it's like a demo account. If you're not gonna switch to a live account, you're not gonna get good at it. So it's kind of catch-22. You have to drop everything else. You have to push it to the limit where you're almost being threatened with divorces and lawsuits and all that kind of stuff. You have to ask your debtors to forgive you like you have forgiven them. Okay, you have to move away from everything, and that's radical. That's like, you don't have to, screw these banks. You can take a loan, walk away, and be a totally irresponsible person. But if you really want to get to the bottom of this, right, you would do it for the sake of a better life. You would totally do it. You would not conform to society's yes and no's. You will set your own rules. And so I guess, and that's what I came to realize. I said, folks out there, imagine coming back from some activity, whether it's like leisure or business or sport or something, and then you're like, okay, time to trade. I have a window. I don't think it works this way. I don't think you can find a window. And I believe it's come down to this, that most people are chasing an instruction set or a system, trying to figure out like how can they fit trading into their lifestyle instead of making trading their lifestyle and then fitting everything else around that. When I'm in my charts, when I'm in my office, my wife, my kids, they know that I'm responsible for people's money. I'm responsible for my own family's money. I'm responsible for a lot of things. And so I need total isolation, peace, and just full-on concentration. And so I do that. But then I also, with this YouTube thing and the community that I got going on, I also try to help people to kind of see what I see and maybe do what I do in ways that would be profitable to them. So when I say that you need a directionality and a candle assessment like this to capture one or two of these guys, I always start my preaching with ATR. So I think the answer to like this whole idea of you have a job, you want to be trading full-time maybe, or you just want to make it work, right? Your window, no matter where you enter on the chart, like for example, look at this was at 5 a.m. I'm deep in my sleep right here. This is the start of it, right? And at this point, when momentum starts to go up and we have a little house of MarketSpy over here, and we're sitting on support. Obviously, if I was up at 5 a.m., I'm not greedy chasing this, but if I was at 5 a.m. over here watching all this, I'd be like, there's like clear indications that all this 6-9 hair, as I call it over here, because it's so colorful, all these Skittles, and price is now trading above it and staying above it with momentum up. I would have traded this to the upside. And today you should look for an upside trade, because we're going up. I told you this 2 videos ago. There's nothing you can. Yeah, I know. It came down and flushed everybody. It's wearing you out. And that's what the markets do. Ignore it. Who cares? Technicals are there. Today is non-farm payroll day, by the way. Today you're gonna have some crazy fireworks, and if you're not there for it, you're gonna miss out on the profits. Today is the most profitable day of the month. If you position yourself right, just before the non-farm payrolls drop. And so I say ATR, right? Like conventional traders online, the material that you find online. I'm not going to say gurus or they're fake. I don't know if they're fake. Maybe they made it work. I don't know. It doesn't matter. They'll tell you like, oh, support and resistance lines, just exit at... I think that's fine, but if you're sizing up and you're playing with stop losses give you the trade size that you need. True? Of course. Stop losses give you the trade size, and it cannot be too early, cannot be too late. My trade on average lasts about what? Maybe an hour, 2. When it's a bear market like this, trading to the upside when price is reluctant, maybe 4 hours, 6 hours sometimes, but I have advised many traders who want to make it their lifestyle to divide their day into the sunrise and the sunset, no matter where they are in the world, and just having that. Rules are basically boundaries, because markets are unlimited. You can do this, you can do that, you can take punch out, you can do the dragon skin at any point in time. There's a setup, and it may or may not work in your favor depending on the context. But sorry to hear that, Travis. But yeah, I hear you. Walked away from work for a year. It was an amazing year. Of course it's amazing. People are supposed to be free. And we need to be working on basically ourselves at the end of the day. And online communities, offline communities, we need to be working towards some sort of unity or something. I don't know. That's what all the rich, mega rich and powerful do. Why the heck are the normal people like so stanced against one another? Everyone is positioned to be a selfish prick these days. So we have to change that. Like Tupac said, we have to change the way we eat, we have to change the way we live, and we have to change the way we treat each other. All right, or something like that. So dude was young, but he was right. And you have to take that with a little bit of seriousness, because that's the only thing that matters, to be honest. Change. So if nothing is working, there's only one way about it, is to change what's not working into what's working. Today, 0.5% of the account, based on this setup right here. And so let's talk about what you can actually do when it comes to these markets. First of all, a trader's life is 90% homework or watching and not doing F all, just sitting there watching all this. Execution is like a tiny little piece. So when people say, I need to work on my execution, I don't know. We need to understand what is being meant by execution. I think I would wager that timing, since time in the market always beats timing the market, or so they say. Those who could make it say that. Those who failed at trading go back to investing. Those who eventually invest after 10 years of investing, they're like, you know what, screw this. Like, I'm betting on the unknown, waiting for 10 years to find out if I'm right, if I was right or wrong. So they go back to trading. And then they fail again, they find a money manager, and the money manager says, okay, you know what? I do one thing different than you. I don't trade. I watch the market. I find a window of opportunity. I assess risk, and I put the money to work. And that's the difference, okay? We're waiting. So, what are we waiting for? We're waiting for just the right picture. Now, MarketSpy is highly visual. And so are the charts and the candlesticks by themselves. It's just visual representations of where to. So you have a bit of color coding going on. You have size, strength, weakness. You have volume. You have trends. And so if you were to look at this, for example, I use here's a little thing that I use from MarketSpy called the projected low indicator. So once hit, this could be a go signal. Like for example, a projected low and projected high that was hit prior to this session over at, basically it was the top signal over there somewhere. Anyways, here's another low and stuff like that. So you have tools. You have tools. Everybody has tools. You have your product. I simplify these concepts down to, basically distilled it to a monkey-proof, foolproof concepts that are very easy to follow. You have your W forming right here. You have your strong recovery today. Non-farm payrolls are going to cause volatility, where price is going to spike, come back down, and when it does come back down, you want to be buying. You have your Armageddon, and the start of the day is right here. Sunset, sunrise. For me, this is sunrise. I'm out in Asia. By the way, another one of those decisions where, yes, I used to work here, but I've decided when I quit my money manager office, actually it imploded my belly up. But when I was free from that, I decided to stay here because it is expensive, but like stuff like groceries, like everyday stuff that people talk about, whatever, inflation. But there's a certain level of security and also structure to all of this. So not only did I understand how the markets operated here, I have decided to just start my day with it's one of the stronger markets out there next to New York, Asia. And so you have your day start right here. And this is my sunrise point. And if we're trading above and I see that we have momentum, I quickly check with Armageddon. My trade that I posted today was based on this flag. I see like these checkpoints over here, and these are opportunities for an entry point for me personally. That's how I trade. Now from the beginning over here, Jesus Lord, you have your baseline reclaim, successful retest, mag 7 initiation. You have your punch out just right here. If you were to put a stop loss right here below this candle and just go all out over here, this gives you a great size. You're looking at whatever, you can scale up, like regardless of your account size. If you're using up to 100x leverage, 100x is not just a random slider that you set it and people say don't use leverage. What do you mean you don't get to decide when you're trading derivatives? Leverage is applied automatically based on your stop loss. And stop loss is not really a physical hard-coded thing that you have sitting over there. It's just a form of measurement to get your size right. And it's also a level. I had a calculator back in the day I shared with you, a spreadsheet that instead of saying risk, it said conviction. So if your conviction was 1, 2, 3, 4, or 10, that basically translated to percent. Conviction at 1 means you're trading with 1x of your account. Conviction with a level 5, for example, when you're like, oh, this is a punch out setup, we have a reversal, we're sitting at support, my conviction just jumped by 5% over here. Now 5% really should be 50, So that's like I'm almost 100% on this setup. And that 5%, that's a 5x leverage. Okay, 5x leverage if you have 100K in your account, 50K in your account. You do the math, right? You multiply that by 5. And that gives you enough size to exit. So your account is 50K. You're exiting on a 5-minute ATR. You're not holding this to some certain level over here or anything. And maybe you're if you're swinging, your position size is small and your stops are at absolute wicks, like bottom of all bottoms. And the distance, of course, the bigger the time frame, the smaller the size. You understand that? The bigger the time frame, the smaller the size. There's nothing you can do about that's like embedded into risk management. There's nothing you can do about that. Nothing. I guarantee you. The higher the time frame, the smaller the size. So when people show me like these swings, either they're gambling or the same amount of profit that you can make in 3 days or 1 week, I can make in basically a few trades. Why? Because the smaller the time frame, the tinier the candle, the higher the conviction level, the bigger the leverage, the bigger the size. And that's automatically calculated by the system. You're not in control of that. You don't get to press random numbers in, punch in numbers and say, okay, I feel like 10x today. No, you don't. It depends on where your stop is and what kind of setup you're looking at. And so yesterday, for example, right here on this tiny little setup right here, I had my stop loss sitting below this wick, but I removed it. I removed my stop loss from here. I used it to calculate my size to gain an entry over here in this range, right? And then I just need the price to go up by a 15-minute ATR. Now I have the video. You can go through that and see what that's like. A 15-minute ATR. And I wanted to sweep the high of this range consolidation. That's 500 points. I needed only 360 points, which is 0.3% on Bitcoin. With that 0.3% advance on Bitcoin, I made 1% on my account, and my account is less than 1 Bitcoin. You understand how this works, that you don't need much. This is why I say you have to realize, not analyze. And this lasted for a few hours over here, but had I kept the stop over here, the hard stop, it would have taken me out and then reversed immediately. But my conviction was there, and nothing was going to stop me. No pun intended. And the other thing is, if we have waited a whole day, I missed the pump, I missed the dump, I could have went short, I didn't, and so I waited. Less than 15 hours later, I had a setup at sunset, and this was that. This was the sunset. So New York started over here with the Fuckery over here. They started, and it's interesting because I know how this works. Most of the time it's always the same thing over and over again. And so I was like, yeah, I have a window over here. I'm gonna get in. I'm pretty sure price is gonna push up. Now, what followed later? You're like, yeah, but why not aim for this? The thing is, I don't know. When I'm sitting at these charts, I'm looking at what's in front of me. I'm not trying to guess like all of other people out there. MarketSpy, we don't go into like what do we think is going to happen. You're assuming a position of God. I don't do that. I don't know. I'm a mortal. I see what's right in front of me. I take it or I leave it. And so this was a long setup over here. Price had gone down. And this is 15 minutes. This is extremely noisy. But just to illustrate the point, I don't know. I usually stay on 1 hour. Maybe I execute on 15, but I don't even. When I'm on higher time frames, I know by looking at the candle what is going on lower time frames. That's how long I've been doing this. I literally don't need to drop a time frame. I know where the baseline retest is happening. I just know by looking at the candle, the 4-hour candle, and I'm like, this 4-hour candle is a $2,000 ATR. All I'm asking for is 360 points. That's 15-minute ATR within this candle. How many 15-minute candles within a 4-hour candle? That's right. So directionality should be very easy to understand, and it is very rare when I capture something like this. For example, 115 was my short, and I closed at around 103. You saw that short, and I held it for a bit, and so and that only happens when price advances so rapidly to the downside that I basically I said, oh, well, let it run then, and I just move my stop loss to break even, and that's it, and then it takes me to wherever. And at that point, you know, you look at the chart and you're like, yeah, this is bear market 101. This is gonna go down. And so it goes down. And so now, if this were to, if this started falling, broke the low over here, continued lower, I look at the momentum somewhere around here, I'll be like, this is my entry point. This is my entry point. And for 1R, basically from this entry, for 1R, the same as 1R from here to here with the stop loss over here, it's the same exact, except I got a bigger size over here. Here, the size would have been much smaller. I would have waited much longer, and I would have gotten the exact same amount or even less out of this setup. Now you need to realize, out of this setup, than I would have in this tiny little window right here. If you're a beginner, it probably doesn't make sense. You're like, why aren't we like these move? It doesn't matter. Directionality, size, stop loss. Listen, your entry here allows for fewer contracts because your stop would be up here. If you're not gambling, if you're properly sizing and doing risk management, because if you say, well, I could have placed a stop, try that next time. See if you don't get wicked out before it going down. And this is how you lose money. Stops are a mechanism designed by exchanges to take your money from you because they feed off of your insecurity by masking it being a professional tool to protect the trader. It's very clever how it's done, and so I use it to assess what size I need and my conviction. But I usually have a hard stop. So for example, if price comes down to my hard stop right here, I may immediately close 20% of that trade, but I will not close the whole thing. Now you take profits incrementally, right? Sometimes price goes up and you take profits. You go ba-bang, 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 right? How come you have a full exit stop loss? How come they convince you that you don't know? Well, actually, nobody convinced you. It's just that unless you have something like MarketSpy, you really are swinging in the dark. You're swinging in the dark. You don't know what it is that you're aiming for, and that's just the truth. That's like 90% of people out there. And Satoshi said, if you don't believe me, I don't have the time or the resources to convince you, but you'll get there. You'll get there. So this trade being a better setup than this whole downpour over here, arguably, if you're not a gambler, I'm saying, if you're 100% understanding the way of the MarketSpy, is better than this. But then also, if you're here and this is going down, then you have no choice but to put a stop loss right here and ride it for 1R. And if you don't take a 1R, I'm sorry, but all these gurus and all these YouTube videos that you're watching, you're beyond brainwashed, thinking that you can hold for 10R and that's how you make a profitable trade. 1R is enough if you're taking quality setups that do not risk being stopped out. Things like the house of MarketSpy ensure, for example, in this whole range here, we don't have a single house. until we get to about here, and even then it's like it's so flat, it's ridiculous. But it is here, it's starting to show up a little bit. This is a classic double bottom over here, but then you have other signals to support your idea to the upside over here. There's just way too much bullishness going on here to ignore it. I'm detached from words like bear market, bull market, because when I'm look at my window right now, guys. When I'm looking at something like this, I have no effing clue if we're inside of a bear market or bull market, literally. And you know what? I'm happy to not know. I'm happy to not be knowledgeable of the fact that we're in a bear market. I don't care. You cannot pollute my mind with narratives and nonsense. I don't fall for that. And my market spies, I train my traders to think in the exact same way. You see what is right now, what is right here on the screen, that little sell-off here might as well be a bear market, and this little green transformation, dragon skin to the upside, that might as well be your bull market. That's all you're looking at as an intraday trader. You don't know nothing. You know nothing. So don't give me that we're in a bull market, we're in a bear market, hence I'm looking for long only setups or sell only setups. Hey, if so, that's great, and it might work for you, but I'm just saying, when this is the reality. This chart right now, this is all that you can fit from the start of the day. Now, context is very important. Context is basically, okay, we're selling off whatever happened over there. I don't know. Price, I told you in the videos, my job is to extract some value out of the market, provide some liquidity, bless somebody out there, be blessed. And that's it. And I step away. It doesn't matter what price does. Tomorrow, guys, we're going to have a brand new setup. Now, what is that setup? You have the orb crossing over here. We're coming to an end. And, you know, there's just stuff here that, even though this is all beautiful and all, you're literally like looking at a breakpoint over here, looking at momentum, and you're like this. So you see this trend thingy over here. This trend, price cannot immediately on the next candle. Like once you have the break on the next candle, whatever that candle does, this is a buy. Same goes for the sell. If the candle breaks, immediately after that, it's a sell. So over here, and you're like, okay, if this broke and the candle goes down, and we're breaking above the Ranger, the blue line, and that momentum is too strong, so the break you project like this is going to break. There's no resistance here anymore. You're on the platform. You're on support. This is daily support. You're on the weekly support, and you're on the monthly support. No, actually, monthly you have a breakout. You're floating. There is no support. But you're on the weekly support. You're at the end of the week, and you're thinking, man, trailing steps, breakout. Can I actually go all in over here with a stop loss somewhere around here? Too tight. It might pierce it and go back up. So let me see what it does. Candle closes, opens up. Now you can see that you're above these lines over here. Everything is looking proper. Everything is aligned. Who cares about your stop loss? Go all in and exit. This is a 0.26 advancement on this freaking candle over here. 0.26% gain on the asset intraday. And it's not even, look at this one candle. This 235 point progression is what makes you 0.5% of your account in the morning. And then your job is to wait until you find a similar level somewhere along the line. And you have tools. What tools do you have? You have flags, you have dragon skin, you have punch out. So you can see how now you're going to augment. Okay, momentum is there. Maybe we're coming down over here. What are we gonna do? Well, there's a flag over here. Can we play around here and see like if we do come down, do we have any support? EQ1, EQ2, EQ3. We're actually resolving right now to the upside. You'll be very surprised today after the non-farms drop where this can go to. This is a 5-minute time frame. It's insignificant. There's no information here. The higher time frames haven't even started to rebound. This is nothing. 12-hour has such oversold momentum and divergence. As a matter of fact, when I woke up today, it was like, what, like 8 p.m. right over here. I said we're going up. Just by like scanning for those messages on our Discord, I'm sharing my conviction. I'm not yapping, thinking that maybe. I'm saying, yeah, look at the chart. See if you can find a setup there. Now, if I drop on 1 minute, there's probably like a little pullback and another punch out happening. And it's been creeping up ever since I opened my eyes. I said I'm late, so I'm not gonna chase this. I'm not interested anymore. Right now, I'm interested to see if price can stay above here. This line, we need to stay above it, and if that's the case, we're going much higher. 94 and beyond, 100K. It's coming. You're not gonna see it. It's coming. So interesting. In my one-on-one mentorship sessions, I structure trades for traders. I have clients who come to me and say like, can we actually print right now? And if there's a setup in front of us, we go for it. We go for a trade in and out quickly, very quickly. Sometimes they share their API keys I access through my Bybit terminal tactics, and I execute on their behalf. Boom, 1 second, a couple of $1,000. I exaggerate, not a second, but a couple of minutes. But you need to wait for a setup. You need to find it. You need to find the setup. You cannot program this to fire off at a binary stationary point like this candle is a buy. That's nonsense. That's retail junk. Anything that tells you buy or sell signal, it looks good looking back, but you have no framework. You don't know what to do. What are you gonna do? Just randomly borrow like 5 Bitcoin on leverage, and just because there's a buy or sell signal, you're just gonna click a button and hope for the best, and then see how far you can ride it. That's what most people do. You're not like that. You're not like that. You can do much better. So here's 1 hour W formation. Automatically you have to assume on this particular trade setup, you have to assume that this is a divergence, probably on higher time frames or like this. We need right now for this baseline to hold. So if price comes down here and holds, consolidates, does nothing. Now remember, there's resistance right here. But if price does come down, which it will, we have red candles galore. Transition, bullish attempts, they failed. I told you in the video, you bulls are soft. Bunch of softies. You couldn't push past 94. It actually peaked at 93,700, which was the exact number I shared in the video. I said we're going to about 93,700 basically, and that's exactly where we peaked. And here they failed to push through, so price came down, whatever, did what it did. But now today, this base needs to hold. this level needs to. So what essentially is going to happen, as you can see, if I'm drawing these lines, even right now, you can see that you're going to print a flag over here. You're going to print a flag between two compression points, these and these. Do you see it? This is the MarketSpy chart vision that you develop over time. Do you see this? When this flag prints, let me just say that this is if we consolidate here. This is 17 hours of fireworks based on the actually, there is no non-farms today. I'm tripping. My calendar is outdated here, so never mind. But this is a range here that is going to basically last for 17 hours. So what this tells me immediately is that either we stay here and I'll find a setup on the 15 or the 5-minute time frame and quickly make my 1% for the day, or we actually overcome this level, go much higher, which would mean looking for potential pullbacks at Prada level over here. It's already waiting for us there. Or we fail the baseline, go lower, but we're looking to not go lower than the 88,500 level that we posted over here. And so I can gently visualize what that might look like, understanding that there is a divergence and oversold momentum on 12 hours. So this would be a valid setup right here. So this flag, if it stays here and compresses, will pop to the upside, because Bitcoin has been wearing everybody out. They're worn out. And I love this. I love to see that, because, as much as I want to help traders, I actually celebrate the just nature of the market, where if you think highly of yourself, if you're walking around with your nose up in the air, thinking you're above the rest, that you know what tomorrow's gonna bring, maybe you had a winning streak and you're like, all over the place, happy, obnoxiously happy, and now you build conviction that you know what's next, then what's coming is you're gonna lose all your gains, everything, because psychologically most people cannot cope with the outcome of uncertainties, because they're making bets. We're not betting here, we're assessing. This is a professional framework where you have to take this very calmly, and you have to kind of step back and be like, okay, I give myself 17 hours over here. Literally, I'm not doing anything for the next 17 hours, guys. Or until evening time. I'll see what the evening star brings. And so I celebrate the justness of the markets, where it punishes those that deserve it, and it rewards those that deserve it. And believe me, deserving is the right word, because it's all according to your attitude, according to your behavior, according to how you approach these markets. And I speak from experience. I'm talking about where markets used to punish me hardcore, and it took me a while to process. But I'm a quick learner, and I quickly realized what not to do. Humble thyself, and everything will be okay. So I don't know, and that's beautiful. That's awesome. Which prevents me from looking foolish by making inaccurate calls, by pretending to know what is to come without a framework. I am nothing. The MarketSpy is my framework, and I hope it becomes your framework for proper assessment as well. You know what I'm saying. But yeah, right now it's looking good. Yesterday was looking bad. Now it's looking good, and you have to flip with it. You have to flip with the script, with the chart, and just understand that all of this is there to help you navigate this a little easier. And so when people talk about smart money concepts, this, that, opening freaking ranges, stop minding other people's business. Please stop minding what the market is doing and other people's pockets. Who's opening the range, where they're taking it. Don't worry about none of that. It's not that complicated. Less time in the market, guys. That's what's important. You're timing the market, so you cannot be spending a lot of time in the market. When people say time in the market beats timing the market, the reverse of that is timing the market while also spending time in the market is just wrong. It shouldn't be the case. You should not be spending time in the market. Give yourself a window. Make it 12 hours. Look how I do it. DSR. Look at my settings over here. What's my range of resolution? 4 hours. Every 4 hours, I have my alerts set up. Every 4 hours, whenever price interacts with one of these ranger levels, I get notified. But let's make it better. Divide the day into 12. Voila. You have what? Volatility called up for. So this level, it's thinning out. It's thinning out. Daily level is thinning out. We're gonna have a breakout soon to the upside, and all the bears are gonna freak out, and you know, and all the bulls will be like, "What? I thought it was over." Casanova. It's never over for Casanova. Bitcoin is just styling on everybody. It's not doing anything out of the ordinary, to be honest. Breakout happens here, we need to retest, but because this is so consolidated, the advancement was very rapid. Now, Asia session. What did I tell you about Asia session? Let's take a look. Yeah, strategy combos. This post right here. I'm not trying to use stereotypes, but this is a military operation, and you need to know the mentality of people and who you're trading against. A highly competitive environment where kids are being taught in school to go at each other's throats. Together, but competing. This is Asia. This is where price opens at the daily range or sells, and then they buy against their own positions. Hedging or competing with other neighboring, I don't know. Hong Kong, Seoul, Japan, Tokyo, right? Like you have to understand that this is going to be raised, and this level holds. If this level holds, if they can hold it in this range for the duration of this session right here, then at the second half, New York will step in somewhere around this point. Somewhere around this point, we will have a breakout towards the Prada level. What is not clear? Now here's the cool thing. Most people would hear me say this, or anybody, and be like, YouTube, good track record, influencer, I'm gonna buy right now. Why wait for all this? See, I don't know. This is speculative at best. I'm saying that maybe if this happens, then somewhere around here, then somewhere around here, you see this range? You see this little box that I just drew? Somewhere around here, That's a 500 point advancement, high probability setup. If we do pierce above it, retest it, somewhere around here, you're gonna have a window of about $500, $200, $300, where you will leverage up and immediately exit using either a laddering technique or just manual take profit one, divide that whole range into $100, $100 take profit 1 Bitcoin, $100 take profit another Bitcoin, $300 take profit 3 Bitcoin. You just made 1% of your account. But you're not buying now, because since 7 hours of an uptrend, repeat after me, I am 7 hours late. And it doesn't matter if it goes another 10K up from here, you'll be like, man, I should have never listened to CR. And because it is better to miss out on the trade than to exercise and build bad habits that are random, not structured, rely on some noise, information that you pick up from all over the place, and then regret it for the rest of your life because you have one bad trade. I'm trying to look for setups that will not make me worry about a bad trade. If I enter right now, guys, if I enter right now, I have no choice but to put my stop loss at 2 places. One, the daily open. It is assumed that once we open, for example, right here, we open to the downside, the daily will not be touched, and we go short and we hold it until support. Again, once we open to the daily, we go short, and our stop loss is right here. You can do that. That's stop loss point number 1. High probability levels are stop loss point number 2 at BC. Now, bottom central pivot level right here is another one. In a few candles, you will have another trailing step that is going to rise above this level. But none of these trailing steps have been violated yet, and they will at some point. I just don't know if it's here, or it's going to be here, or it's going to be here. And finally, you have your final stop loss, which is the previous low PL, which is right here. This is the safest, gives you the least number of contracts, and if you're entering 7 hours late, okay, let's say 5, even from here, when you have a trailing step breakout and you didn't get in over here, let's say 5 hours late. This means that for a pullback to occur here, 7 hours up, another 5 hours sideways, another 5 hours attempting to go up, another 5 hours down, New York session open, that's like when? That's time to half, that's 9 hours later. 9 hours later, maybe it's gonna go up, or if it doesn't, it goes down. So 9 hours later, you're gonna have a move that is going to either eat your stop here, eat your stop here, or eat your stop here, or it will not eat any of your stops. But because of your contract size over here, depending on which stop level you chose, high risk, low risk, small risk. But nevertheless, nothing worse than getting with a small trade size, waiting 24 hours just to have it be taken out. Now, sure, you didn't lose a lot of money, but you lost your goddamn time. Babysitting it, watching it, stressing it, thinking about it, eating your dinner, thinking about like, man, where, checking your phone. Don't do that. You don't need that. You need to find a window of opportunity. The expected value, as they call it, of your trading system is super high with MarketSpy. So you need not to worry about what it's going to do here. Just give it some time. Wait till the half game right here. It's game on. We opened, pumped above, but we opened late. We start pumping from here off of support, weekly support. Now 12-hour momentum is indicating that we're going up. There's nothing you can do about that. So I think based on that, after a little pullback and you see some demand, maybe a long wick somewhere here, once it takes out these levels, maybe not, you will get in and you will capture 1 or 2 candles. Like, look at this ruler. That's 700 points, man. Are you kidding me? If you can with MarketSpy, if you're not able to guess a directionality inside of this window, like I said, the market is very fair, it's very just. You're gonna get served, all right, if you're not able to. Now I can help, but if you're not listening, nothing can help you. Now each one of these little tiny windows that I'm drawing within the context of this 1 hour time frame is what you're looking for, and that's how you get to your 1% account. So that's a really good way to understand how to frame your trading bias. Just don't trade. Do not trade until you see something. There's a lot of stuff in the way over here right now. You know, we're in a bear market. Remember, in the bear market, bullish signals fail, or they last for a very short period of time, but they last. They last your 15-minute, 30-minute ATR. They do. And shorts, I just don't like shorting because I don't want to bet against anything against. I'm against. All right, I want to be for. So when buyers step in, you know, I'm interested in buying because I'm just used to looking from the bottom up, and so when I'm shorting, and if the market is biased to the downside, I go and flip the chart like this, and same thing. I look at it and I say, yeah, if this falls, this is a pretty heavy candle. It's heavy. It's like 300-pound candle right here. How do we know? Because it's like the size of it is 1.6%, right? So that's a trailing step break over here. And so sometimes with this system, you can use trailing steps as your stop loss placement. I don't recommend it, but it gives you more contracts in this way. Now look how flat this thing is, right? If we consolidate here, we create a flag and we have a breakout to the upside, and we go to sweep like basically this area over here. That's just, you know, believe me, that is what is going to happen here. Now Prada levels. Let's talk about Prada real quick. You may have learned how to draw a 50% retracement in this manner. That's wrong. This is not how you draw Prada. So Prada needs to align with, for example, if I go from here to here, this is the correct Prada. So if price comes, again, it lines up with our assessment over here. Why is that? Why is 91, 190 an important level? Well, that's because if you were to use Market Profile, we have MarketSpy Profiler, but I don't have it on this chart right now. But anyways, if you were to use MarketSpy Profiler, which is really amazing at doing this automatically for you, but you have these clusters. These clusters are highly liquid. These are not naked areas. They are highly liquid points of interest. So right now it's divided into 3 clusters, and this is where the Prada is. So rejection, bounce, this is the structure right here. And on MarketSpy Profiler, you would have something like this, and you have like this, and this is your point of control. You have something like this, then another one opens over here. This is your point of control. Your price coming down over here, another one opens up over here. This is your point of control. Price interacts, comes back, plays with this level, gets rejected, breaks above it, goes to the next level over here. So the one thing that I want you to remember right now, this is good. This is coming to me right now. Thank you, Lord. The one thing that you need to understand is that when you're drawing levels, do not use lows. Low, it's a level, but it's not a zone. Do not use lows, but instead use clusters of candles. I call it apex. Back in the day, I used to teach people about, so for example, you see this triangle over here? Yeah? This is the apex. And we already have a product level there. This is the apex. Anytime you see some sort of like consolidation of candles, this is the apex. Price comes back down to the apex point. Okay? You need to understand this. So anytime you see structure of candles, the breakout point is where price is going to come down and stay and trade in that level. And there's many names for it. I'm not gonna use any names. Fair value area and such. These are classic concepts, but I'm really distilling it into a very basic idea that you have your apex right here. Again, we have product level over there already. And this point, this is a highly traded liquid area. This is a point of interest for price. Whenever you have naked areas like this, empty, bare candles, this is why they're not sustainable, guys. You know, when the candle goes up and you're like, oh, I'm gonna buy the top. It's just a naked candle. There was a consolidation here. This candle is going to most likely get erased, get eaten up, and then it is going to go up. You understand? So when you see hollow, paper thin, I call them candles, just because they're big doesn't mean that they're full of volume. It means that there were barely any traders in there. That's why it was easy to form it. If you bring your volume indicators, I have a beautiful video on how to read volume, and trust me, it is unlike any other volume video that you have ever seen in your life. My presentation there is horrible, but my point is that volume tends to happen on smaller candles like these. When you have a really big, so you have little volume like this, you have little volume like this, and then you have an extreme rising volume, falling price that they say it's that's bearish. Actually, once this volume candle prints, this marks the bottom usually. So look for the biggest bearish volume candle, and it's silly because if you go on a time frame, listen to this carefully. If you go on any time frame, what is a bearish red candle? Yeah, pay attention. What is a bearish red candle? Let's say this color is red, and then this is green. It is extremely silly to be assuming that these are two separate candles. On lower time frames, this gets divided into 10 different candles, and they all look even. But in one cluster on the daily or 1 hour or 4 hours, you look something like this. But if you jump to a higher time frame, all of this is going to be is like the Russian doll. Forgot its name, but you know what I'm talking about. Like there's a doll inside of a doll. And so each one of these volume candles, they have another volume candle inside of it, depending on the time frame. But big volume spikes mark tops and bottoms. When there's a big volume spike to the downside and candle is going down and there's a huge volume that's supporting it, that's a bearish momentum indication. When there's a huge volume spike at the bottom, post sell-off context, right? And then we have a huge volume spike at the bottom, that marks the bottom. That doesn't mean like sellers are stepping in at the very bottom. That means that this is capitulation candle. You're gonna have huge volume at the bottom, and that's when you buy. There's been a great exchange and a lot of people sold and some people bought. That's what it indicates. So I have that video. I highly recommend you watch it. How to read volume, that 99% of people don't know how to read volume anyways. there's all this nonsense gibberish online about what to pay attention to. Trading is not complicated. Please realize these concepts and you will do well. And so yeah, the apex breakout point is literally right now, right here. So price is hesitating. We have one right here, and price is like, what do I do? If it pulls back, guess where it's pulling back to? You see this cluster right here? This is where the concentration of trades were. So this candle is going to go exactly what I have drawn over here, down to this node. And this is also this node right here, this point. What is that? Well, it's simple, ladies and gentlemen. That same area is the baseline retest, is it not? Yes, it is. Look at that. So by that time, the baseline will be somewhere over here. Price will be retesting it. Now, if this node holds, we will have a rebound. And like I said, that compression is going to keep squeezing price until we have a pop. And lower time frames are oversold. 12 hours has like 4 GPS dots, divergence. This may even go lower like this. It may like spill and then go up. Now, if it spills and does a banana pattern, you know we're going to accelerate to heaven from here. So just keep that in mind today. Watch this candle come down. Keep a close eye on these concepts and just give yourself some space. Give the market some space to breathe. You'll do just fine. Huge clusters of areas like this is where you want to have your product level sitting, which means sometimes to align it properly, you want to be able to maybe not marking the bottom, but look at this. Look at this. So you have your DSR. This is objective data, but it must be structured. So you have your open right here, and immediately right after this open candle, you're watching for this level. So price may go zip, jump up by like 500 points. How much would it be if this product gets hit and jumps up back to where it is now? About 300 points. Now, there's still magnets over here, so I wouldn't rely on it. But if we were to use this level, then it jives and it lines up perfectly. So maybe a low of this candle will get taken out later on today, and then at the second half of the day, this is where you come in. This is where I will come in, and I'm gonna do my GoPro recording today to bring my account to 1% once again, just like yesterday, just like the day before yesterday. And I really started to like making those GoPro videos because they just feel so real, you know, as opposed to like a screen cap or whatever. So you can look at my stuff and be like, ooh, you know, that's what's happening right there. So I hope those videos are beneficial. Please leave some comments and help the algorithm to understand that this is that diamond in the rough. Don't know who else would bother to go through this, but you know, I have the time for this. I don't overtrade, and I'm not here to farm clicks or anything like that. So if you like it, just leave a comment and say amazing. By the way, my favorite commentator, oh my god, it makes me feel so good, Elijah Black. Sir, you are just on top of the game. I have had people tell me this in private, but seeing it in public when people say, you know, last time Elijah Black commented and said, CR, you made us some good money. It really, really warms my heart. I really like that. That's the bottom line, guys. I hope this makes you money. I hope this somehow helps you to frame your trades a little better. Just give you a little bit of an edge. Because I do not believe that these concepts are discussed or even exist. I'm not sure, you know. I didn't go to a school of trading to learn any of this, and so this can only happen when somebody passes this on to you, shares their stories of their experiences in the markets, and you know, there's no makeup here. This is Me waking up in the morning before I even brush my teeth, I'm at it. Tea costs money, so I have to get a couple of $100 early in the day to start the mood right. It's a beautiful thing when you wake up, look at MarketSpy, get yourself a setup, pocket $200-$500, and then you're like, okay, and now we're gonna, now I'm gonna walk around my day, do my thing, have fun, and then I'm gonna come back for a serious setup that is brewing, but not randomly, not like this. So, crypto. Actually, let's just hang here for a bit. I don't know if you have the time, but I'll spend another 15 minutes watching this, and I'm looking to see how the Prada level will react from that cluster, from that node right there. Notice the orb over here is hitting these candles, so it's natural if it comes back down and then jumps back up, but eventually the orb has no choice but to cut through these candles and go up. By the way, whatever price is facing, the orb is doing the same with its historical data. So if the orb finds resistance on let's say this trend, what is this thing, man? I was gonna say trend runner, man. I got distracted by looking at trend runner. I was gonna get into that next. The trend indicator over here. I don't know. There's this one module in here. Anyways, it's volatility assessment, right? Flat means it's ready to break out over here. But if the orb finds resistance at this point, even though we have a breakout here, this resistance for the orb is more valid than the actual resistance that price is interacting with right now. So historical resistance for the orb, this is such a powerful concept that you're not going to find anywhere else. The orb, you should pay attention to the orb more than the price itself, because price is going to fake you out, it's going to trick you out. But the orb actually respects historical levels because they're a little different. They're historical, so traders, they have short-term memories. The markets, they don't remember a lot. Nobody remembers anything. You think the markets remember SBF? You think the markets remember the Bybit hack? You think the markets remember? The markets remember what they were afraid of yesterday, the boogeyman. What if it keeps dumping? That's what the market remembers. It doesn't remember much beyond the 29 candles over here. So this orb, it shows you invisible patterns that most other traders will never ever see if they're not using the system. So pay attention to the orb and how it interacts with previous elements on the chart, because they are more real than this dancing jester right here going up and down. Makes me laugh when people say price is king. Price is king because you haven't seen MarketSpy yet. So you think like there's nothing that can define price. I'm literally framing these candles and capturing them like Ghostbusters over here with MarketSpy. It's not even close. Price is a jester. Right, of Tarsus. Bless you, brother. Super trend. So when it's flatlined, it is a good indication that we're nearing a breakout point. Slope analysis, which I talk about very often in my videos, is also very important. As a matter of fact, if you're paying attention to MEXC spitting out messages over here, so this version is coming. I just, look at all these parameters over here. Cold zone threshold. Look at this, LTTF bull shift, bullish slope change. You see that? Time frame 3. So while I'm sitting here on this 1 hour time frame, I got my alerts. I have cleverly designed it in such a way do you remember the dashboard that we had, MarketSpy IQ? there's just so much going on. It was hard to keep up with information across like 200 different coins. And so because of that, I needed to hack TradingView to show me a dashboard. And when they introduced these notification panels over here, now I can be sitting on 1 hour time frame and I get constant updates on the slope change and the directionality of momentum on lower time frames. How sick is that? This is a very clever implementation where you're getting real-time information about what candles are doing on lower time frames and how they're affecting the indicators and how they're shaping them. While you're sitting here focusing on this, you get like a little window over here that's going to show you what is happening on lower time frames. I think that's incredible. And so you don't have to really switch to 1.5 because you already know these alerts show up over here and you know what's going on. You know if one of these candles on 1 minute is going to touch or penetrate one of the structured sort of DSR elements over here, the CPR blocks of resistance and support. You're going to get notified, you know. You're going to get your upper 5 and upper 10 on the volatility index using this Ranger rails. Once these forks get touched, you know, you're gonna get that alert over here in this lower corner without having a full dashboard sort of switching between tabs. It's all inclusive now, so that's beautiful. And that's how I have it set up, right? So usually it's one time frame, but I can fully see the lower time frame without even looking at it, based on these constantly firing alerts that I have set up starting from the 3 minute and up. Right, so I think everything else is just gonna overwhelm. Trend runner, the way I have my trend runner set up is many people have asked. One, basically these settings, forget about all this. I have set it for optimal performance, but you need to pay attention to the pivot left bars and pivot right bars because that changes the frequency and the assessment of these candles depending on where we are. So red line breakup. So if the trend stays below here, goes back down, you know, this can happen. So you can already see that based on the frequency on the occurrences here, what can potentially happen later on in the day, where you see immediate resistance and trend formation. Price tends to break out beyond these. By the way, this particular setup right now on Bitcoin, when we had, did I have it set on 2? See how it changes? So 4 is the default. And when you have that 4 set, remember that trend line break? Right here. So we're watching this and now we clearly broke out of it. So if you were watching my video from yesterday and you had your trend runner running like this, and if you were up, you know, it was 5, 6, 7 a.m. for me, so there was no way I was going to catch this breakout. But you could have easily, once this trend line is printed, right, it's a very valid trend line. We have attempted to, we closed above it. I profited from this range right here. I mean, this is pretty incredible. This was a $1,000 pump. So even though it looks like, oh, this would have been a better, remember, we talked about this just now. Yeah, you have a breakout and price is very rarely, it will not go below this point over here. We have posted the low. I told you this in a few videos ago. I think this is the low for the day, for the week, for the day. That was the low for the day, but this is truly the low area for the weekend because we're resting on that once again, that weekly support, and you just have to go with it. Resting on support. Finally, we have compression on these things happening. So inside of this red zone, for me, it's a buy. Regardless of how price action behaves here, I'll keep buying in attempts to go up. But if it does break down from here, we'll have a different outlook, and we'll just look to buy lower. Capitulation is incoming. We have been grinding slowly, and traders have been exhausted. I love to see that, because those are the people we literally take money from. And if you do have a losing trade here and there, I'm sorry for that. But hopefully this improves your understanding so that doesn't happen. But you're not the intended target. But I absolutely enjoy watching the flow of money go from the greedy hands, the desperate hands, into the patient and understanding hands. I have developed my hands to be this way, and I have no intent on changing anything about that. I love it, and I hope you benefit from this kind of mindset as well. So trend runner breakout, again, it might be, you might say, well, there's a trend line here on the 4 hour, there's a trend line over there on the 4. Look, whatever the time frame you're on, frame your trade idea around that time frame. So if you're on the 1 minute time frame, aim to capture a fragment of the 50-minute ATR out of that 1 hour. So currently, if you look at the it is $900 ATR on 1 hour. So 15, there's like 4 15-minute candles within 1 hour candle. So this divided by 4, that would roughly be about $200, $250 or thereabouts. That's your 15-minute ATR basically. And on a pullback, once you have found some signals, once you have found some support, once you understand the context, and you have so much time to yourselves to do this, then you execute, then you jump into it. And stop loss is used to assess what trade size you're going to have, trade size, and everything else is just secondary. So it's almost like, in trading, guys, I would like to say this extremely annoying thing maybe, but you want to get there. You don't really, how do I put it? You have to train your gut in a way so that when you do take trades, they have to be such high conviction trade setups that you're not likely to get stopped out. See, the idea of having a stop is because you're not sure. You don't know what it is that you're doing. You're like, I better have a stop just in case. What in case? You're looking at a setup. You've waited. You gave yourself some window. You gave some space, some time. You need to execute a trade setup that's going to give you that ATR boost within that 15-minute time frame. As an intraday trader, if you're swinging, go ahead, buy right now. You should be buying right now, putting your stop loss right here, and then tell me if you're in profit next week. Meanwhile, I'll keep telling you every day whether I'm losing or making money. And yes, there will be losses, but try not to ignore the win rate, ignore 1 risk, 10 risk, reward ratios, ignore everything that you know about trading, and just try to execute one setup at a time. Split your time frame into sunset, sunrise, and midpoint. If there's no setup during those times, just ignore everything that you see. Doesn't matter what kind of bullish, bearish signals. If you want to make it work, I'm telling you, just simplify the heck out of it. And like I said, it'd be, if I know a lot of you guys are good traders, and you're doing things on your own, and I appreciate that. But if you have a question before entering a trade, just come to Discord, drop the chart in the either the speculation lounge or signal feed, or even owner chat, MarketSpy, or in the platoon, and just like ping me, and I will look at your chart and I'll tell you, do you have a chance or not? Trust me, I will be able to. I will help you. I will say, yeah, you're looking at a good trade setup over here. And Cryptopocalypse Now, our logo was and forever will be a Bitcoin, because just choose one asset class. You know, you have your NQ. That's another great asset to trade between Bitcoin and NQ. I don't know if you need anything else, to be honest. Zcash, all these other coins, it just takes forever. Now, a lot of the calls that I have made, I'm still waiting for them to Aster. Aster is like, Aster has been climbing up. My call to buy was at around this candle, you know, and I said buy at 67. It never really came down to 67, but it's bottomed out. But look how frustratingly the direction is beautiful. Once again, I nailed it. Simply, if I have to call it, I'll say I nailed it, because I did call an opportunity on Aster when I said, you know what, people are irked, they're irritated, this is the best time to buy because everybody is capitulating. Now is the time to buy, and it's gone up by 40% at minimum right here. But do you really want to be dealing with these candles up, down, up, down, up, down? But if I look at the setup over here, if I bring it over to, come on, man. Look at this. You know, there's nothing here that is not clear. But this is choppy, this momentum here. Like, I don't want to be holding it up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. I want to be able to capture, for example, I have a trailing step break over here. I get in and I exit within like 3%, 2%, right here within this candle. This is me selling this wick. Zoop, and that's it, I'm out. And that is only if we're at the start of some sort of momentum reversion or daily open or something. There's no way in hell I'm buying this, putting a stop loss, and holding this for a 100,000% gain. No, I'm in and out, just like with the rest of them. And so, oh yeah, the 5 candle rule of Tarsus, that's a great question. So for example, if it's not really a loss, but if we do have, so for example, price has been going up, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candles that are just kind of stuck, you know, it just means that we're not going to have a significant upside. I know it looks like a consolidation, but usually when we have like some hesitation point like this, you know, you confirm with momentum. This just tells me that you need to stay away from it. This is hard. This is like eyeballing. You need to train your eyes for this. This is not consistent. For example, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5th candle pumped over here. So it's a little subjective, I might say. And you know, using the mostly the 5 candle rule to sometimes exit in a loss. Yeah, speaking of losses, so everything that I have discussed so far, if the system is not performing within a 5 candle duration, basically, right? And depending on how the candles look like and what momentum is doing, and if I really feel that this is a bad entry, yeah, I exit right away. But I do so by using chunks, so having tactics at my disposal, which I'm sorry guys, it's still being worked on, but Bitunix has been integrated, So if you're on Bitunix, if you're in the States, wherever you are, where there's like IP bans, a lot of my clients and friends have signed up using Bitunix. Past KYC, geo blocks, no problem. They're trading. So yeah, definitely sign up for the exchange. But it's in a trading terminal right now. We're testing it, but it's going slow. There's a lot of things. I have to trade, I have to monitor these charts, I have to manage a fund, I have to do a lot of things here. So progress has been kind of slow, so I'm really sorry about that. But that terminal allows me to take chunks. So my stop loss would be a manual 20% close. And then I kind of wait and see what it does. Maybe another 20% close. And then when it starts to get close to my 1% loss, I just cut it altogether. Doesn't matter if it immediately reverses and goes back up. It was a bad entry. And what I can then do is wait for another setup like this. MarketSpy has more profitable setups than the ones that don't play out. And then all I need is a 300 point to make that 1% back. And I don't go above that. I bring it back and I step away from the charts for the day. Because I already know that I started off on the wrong kind of... on the wrong foot. So there's no need to make gains for the day because I'm not there. I'm not there. So yeah, 5 candle rule is a savior. And you can create your own rule. Now remember, 5 candles is something that I have created for myself to using a classic sort of decay, market price decay, time decay theory. So essentially the 5 candle rule is simply a time decay method, which has been used for centuries. Which basically, if within an intraday framework, if you're not seeing progression on your conviction is not performing as you expected, then that conviction loses its strength and time decays value, and so you start taking losses within that decay window. But maybe finally, when your last 10% is left, it goes up like the runner, and it makes up for the losses. And so you kind of manage a little bit here, a little bit there. But yeah, the 5 candle rule is you can make your own rule, but I highly recommend the 5 candle rule because it's already done for you. Why not? It's great. What if price does move aggressively against you, even past your stop? You're still mad? So I'm trying to think of like looking at this, like find me one instance where price moves aggressively against your stop. For example, right? Like anywhere within this range. I think if we're looking on momentum on this hump, like let's say we're going up over here, and then usually what I'm saying is it doesn't suddenly move aggressively ever. There's usually like a precursor to that move, and you get to see that early. So I don't know, maybe like this candle, but I mean it's rare. But if it does move aggressively, I want to see like what area is it moving to, if there's any support or anything like that. So this is a great example, and you would not hold if momentum is shifting over here anyways. And so yeah, you would exit pretty quickly. But before it starts to move, if it approaches my 1%, I'm out, and so I don't want to hold it anyways to find out if it's going to move further. So a lot of these moves are, even this move, that was a very slow, this was not fast. They only look fast, aggressive. On 1 minute, you never have like a 1,000-point move before a setup that leads to that move. So there has to be, so you must be going really, really against a setup that is brewing to give. Because if the momentum is bullish, if we're bouncing on support, if we're at the start of the session, nothing can really move against you because that has to develop first. So you're only trading what's been developing in your favor, if that makes sense. If it's been developing in your favor, then it can only move in that direction, right? So if momentum has been oversold here, resolves from green to gray, if it's developing over here, so for example, these candles that move rapidly down and then up, I'm not taking any profits or stop losses over here. I'm just waiting for all this to play out. And then actually, this was a trade. I recorded this too. Now that I think about it, I recorded this too. But this went up and it came right back down. My entry was right here. But I didn't take profit in this because I knew this is a fluff. Because momentum here was just like, it's impossible for a candle to reverse and keep going down on this momentum because there's just way too much structure going on here for that 94 point that we were waiting for. And that's exactly where it went, 93.7, 94-ish, before reversing over here. So I would argue that it's very unlikely that something is going to move aggressively in direction unless you're going against I don't know. That's a very hard example to remember ever happening. Position gets cut of Tarsus. It's not serving us. Nacho, you can greetings and welcome to the stream. You can put share your ES charts with the futures trading chat in the OPM Trader Central Discord section, because other folks might jump in and pitch in. But yeah, that'd be interesting. I would love to take a look at the chart. I'd imagine it looks pretty similar to ES over here. Sorry, to NQ. By the way, we're gonna get into futures trading with prop firms. Believe it or not, I'm still hanging on to my funded account, and I'm just trying to get it to a certain number, and it's still alive. But I have not been able to, just by looking at it here, and rightfully so, find a good setup right on time. Because throughout the day, it's really, I actually like it the way it is now. But like when New York opens, it's pretty hectic and things happen, and I just don't know. But I have been slowly grinding it up, and I think people will be surprised to learn that it takes a while for you to earn the $50,000 or $150,000 that these prop firms give you. With the rules that they have in place, it's very difficult to manage it, and nothing's been blown, but I'm just really taking my time. And the sucky bad thing about it is that they force you to take at least one trade a week with the pro account, and I'm not a fan of that. And they force you to hold for over, like these things, I'm out in seconds. But they force you to hold for at least a minute. And so, which means that you can only trade M and Q if you're going to hold for more than 1 minute. Because if you trade NQ with MarketSpy for more than 1 minute, the drawdown doesn't allow you to hold it for more than 1 minute. But if you could, you would basically pass instantly and earn instantly on any one of these setups in the same manner that I have been talking about. So you really have to capture one of these candles, and the problem with a lot of these candles is that they look nice after the fact, but during the development of this candle in the 5 minute, it looks like this. Basically, it looks like this. And that's your candle right here. That's what happened inside of this. And I'm like, I don't know, man. So yeah, no, this is something that we're gonna do later once we're done with Bitcoin. Bitcoin right now to me is very important because that's something that everybody has access to, and I want to emphasize on the greatness of the asset and how you can trade it. And it will be time to buy it soon, but I don't see a buy signal. Maybe we're going to 100K for sure within this week, next week, I think. But you know, what are you gonna do? You're gonna go buy spot, hold it to 100K, sell for $6,000, $7,000 profit. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. You can make that in like a few weeks. But in a month, you should have about 7, 10 with all the losses and everything, you know. 50K account size, assuming, which is great. And I always advise, you know, if you're gonna do this, man, just get out of your city, man. Go somewhere where it's cheaper, where you can stretch that dollar and make it good. You know, you could be making $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month trading this the way I show you, and just like live on that. But you can't do it if you're up in New York. You got to get out of there, man. If you're not tied down, you know, you got to make that leap of faith. And it's also like location. It's also risk management. Marriage is risk management. So there's a lot to this. It all comes back to we're not in control. We just manage this. We're not in control. So here's futures trading chat. Get in early. Thank you. I love messages like these. You guys make me feel great. I'm so in tune with NQ. You, sir, CR, are dominating this market. Thank you. I'm not sure if I'm dominating, but we're definitely navigating properly. Unlike, I would say, you know, it's different. It's different from all the other trading channels for sure. Maybe not as appealing, you know. But oh, look at these two candles. See, this is why you wait. This would have been hell. This is 2 hours of nothingness right now. Hopefully it continues, pump soon. But if it gives me the dip, I'll probably buy it in the later half of the day for more upside from here. Way past the 15-minute that I promised, but guys, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. Aftar says, I have been shilling MEXC for 0 fees in the description of my videos, but nobody really signs up using my link, so I don't know why I do it. But anyways, MEXC is, 0 fees. But I'm not sure about liquidity. I tried it a few times. There were slippage and stuff like that. Anyways, if you do want to sign up, use my link. That would be nice. So you can finally look at the dashboard and be like, hey, at least one person signed up. But MEXC is a 0 fee trading, for futures, for sure. It's just that it's KYC. And I'd prefer users to either, if it's KYC, stay with Bybit, proven. There's like quality. The framework is amazing, right? Bybit. But there is no better exchange than Bybit right now. If you're talking about all these offshore exchanges, it's not even a question in terms of like the team, the structure, the security, the recovery that they had. No exchange is going to survive that. None have in the past. And Bitunix, which is regulator friendly and allows you to it doesn't discriminate against you. So those are the great ones. OKX a bit more strict and good for some stuff, bad for others. But yeah, I have some links with some perks, and the fees are high, but as you can see daily, it doesn't really hurt me. I rarely pay attention to the fees unless I'm trading really big size. That's when it bites. You know, paying $300 one way when with my usual normal account, that $300 is basically sometimes all I make in a day. That hurts. But luckily that's not my money, not my accounts, and so I don't really have to worry about it. As long as I deliver the gains, people are more than willing to pay the fees. So yeah, guys, anything more than this and you'll be overwhelmed if you are not already. So hopefully this helped. Please rewind the video if you're coming into the stream late. There was some juicy stuff in the beginning. And as always, much love, much health. Stay hydrated, never liquidate it. Behave and be safe. I'll see you guys in the next stream. Cheers.